Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York is threatening once again to shut down his state. The pretext, coronavirus. The reality is to attempt to humiliate the people, just to show them who's really in charge. Too many bars and restaurants aren't following social distancing rules, Cuomo said. Too many people are assembling in small groups as if that's their constitutional right. It must be stopped, says Andrew Cuomo. Too bad. Nobody is listening anymore, and they shouldn't listen. They got the message. When Cuomo and virtually every other lackey in the press and or the Democratic Party, not that there's still a meaningful difference, endorsed Black Lives Matter protests and said they were exempt from coronavirus restrictions.
You're looking at Los Angeles's Hollywood Boulevard, and just take a look at how many just a sea of humanity there out in full force fighting against injustices.
Take a look at this rally, a black trans Lives Matter rally in Brooklyn just this past weekend. Look at that crowd. You know, it's pretty extraordinary when you see this is a large, diverse crowd, as we understand it from all the people who are reporting there. But just look at the resounding support.
They're so excited. So the law does not apply to Joe Biden's voters. It only applies to you. Are you okay with that? Have you noticed that? Well, the New York Post noticed it. So did podcast host Adam Carolla. He's got a new book out, I'm Your Emotional Support Animal. We're always happy to have him on. Adam, great to see you tonight. Have you noticed that, I mean, there are certain laws that only apply to you. Are you okay with that?
Well, I am, as long as I'm under the thumb of our mayor and our governor here in California. I mean, I got lectured 10 minutes ago by MSNBC and CNN for walking on the beach, or what if someone spreads a towel out on the beach? Remember that? I mean, I heard hysterics on those networks saying, well, what if people don't wear a mask and they put a towel down on the beach? By the way, a towel down on the beach, is there any science at all that says the coronavirus is spread outdoors on the beach? And by the way, when is the last time some strange couple laid down closer than 6 feet to you and your wife's towel? By the way, if they did, they were swingers and it was game on.
Which is a whole separate conversation. But if lying on the beach is dangerous, if there's an important medical distinction between wet and dry sand, as your governor told us there was, then wouldn't these rallies, riots, even looting Walmart presents public health risks, wouldn't it?
Well, everything is political expediency. And of course, they think the people that are rioting and marching are on their side, and the people who want to go down and have a cocktail or go to a church or go to a beach, that's on Trump's side. So they're going to support one side and the other, which then makes them hypocrites. But by the way, good news, we don't have to listen to a thing they ever say again. We don't have to listen to a thing Cuomo says or Newsom says or CNN says or MSNBC says, because evidently they all have an agenda. They used to hide their agenda. Now it's transparent. They just lifted their skirt and showed us all of their agenda.
I know I'm going to get audited for this, but it's a sincere question. You call the police, they don't come. Your neighborhood's filthy. People live on the sidewalk. Nobody cares. Why are you paying your taxes? For real.
I don't know. Like, I do say that all the time, especially in L.A. L.A. is just filled with potholes and a-holes and homeless people and barbed wire around the freeway signs. Like, it's turned into a hellscape out here. And we shouldn't, you know, I have a business, and if my business gets tagged by gangbanger, I get a summons from the city commanding that I clean it off in 2 weeks. Otherwise, I'm going to get fined. Meanwhile, there's piles of garbage, refuse, homeless people, and fecal matter everywhere, and they're not obligated to do their job at all.
It's disgusting. We just put a picture of your new book on the screen. When is that coming out? When can people buy it?
It is out as we speak, and I got to tell you, Tucker, I tried to get this through the usual establishment people in New York. None of the mainstream press and none of the mainstream publishers would touch it. We did it anyway, and we can stick a finger in the eye of these elites if we go out and put this book on the New York Times bestseller list.
I'm ordering it on the phone in the commercial break. Adam Carolla, great to see you tonight. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Tucker.